Hi everybody, Laura here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to be a part of the Holly Jolly Release blog hop with Simon Says Stamp, and I have a fun project to share with you featuring the new Layered Hills die set, which is very near and dear to my heart because my daughter Bailey actually designed this die set months ago when she came up with the idea. Listen, I was not sold on it, and I was like, okay, it's all right. It's a bunch of layered hills. I said, you're going to have to create some mock examples to show me what it can do. And she made some little mock cards on Adobe Illustrator. And when she showed me, I was like, girlfriend, I love it. So that I showed it to Heidi. I'm like, what do you think? And Heidi's like, I love it. Let's do it. So, you know, when you look at the die set itself, you might not be that impressed. But when you see what it can do, you're like, forget about it. So I have a few from her mock examples that she sent me, and I'm going to try to recreate all of them into cards to really give you the full beauty of what the Layered Hills die set can do. And anywho, so I'm just putting this together. Everything's just die cut, which I love, you know, easy to mass produce. And I'm using a bunch of different solid color cardstocks. And yeah, just popping them on. Neenah Solar White 110 pound sturdy card base. So now I'm getting to popping these up. And let me tell you, first of all, I would have never chose these colors in a million years because you know me in rainbows. But Bailey had, she gravitates towards these colors, kind of rust, terracotta, and just like this earthy vibe. She's like, Mom, I said, what do you call this aesthetic, Bailey? She's like, I would call it organic. So I don't know. Now, here's where sometimes you got to be careful when you're popping things up. It can get a little out of hand. You know what I'm saying? You can only get so high. Not that there's dimension police, but, you know, sometimes I have been known to get a little carried away. And then I'm like, well, I got to back it down before it gets too high. Here I'm kind of like fanning out the waves. Yeah, like that. Now, what I should have done is cut in between each layer because you can get a nice clean cut. But when you get 5 layers, you know, the paper trimmer can only handle so much. So I did it with the scissors. I really like to cut it better with the paper trimmer because then you get it clean and sharp. And but anyway, I did it with the scissors because it was so thick. Now that extra little piece there, I'll take that off camera, snip it off with the old paper trimmer. Now here's where I decided to rip off the waves and pop them up because all my mountains and sun, everything was popped up, but the waves were flat on the card. And that just didn't seem fair. You know, you gotta have equal opportunity for all images. So there, now everything's like happy. And there are, in the die set, there's a little, I'm gonna call it a seagull. And there's also like a man in a boat or a woman in a boat, you know, either or. And for a sentiment, I'm going to die cut this Thinking of You. This is from the Thinking of You sentiment set. I love these pre-printed sentiments, especially the white on black. They're my faves. And I use one of the sentiment label dies to trim that out. And then I just snip off the ends. I like to take a black Copic and just give it a once over on the edges. And I simply pop that up on the side. Where are you going to put it? You got to find the best place to lock it in, you know? And I decided right there, right in the sweet pocket. And this card is finished. It's a short video, but what do you think of this card? I think it has a mood, doesn't it? I think Bailey did a great job, and I can't wait to share with you a couple more cards using this Layered Hills die set. Make sure and check out the rest of the Holly Jolly Release blog hop with Simon Says Stamp. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. And I will see you next time.